Well, this is gonna be embarrassing. Okay, so at one point in time, we were all kids, except for you, Jeff. I'm on to you, buddy. And I'd say the majority of us had some sort of crush on either a celebrity, classmate, or in this case, animated character. So in honor of Valentine's Day, if I actually do manage to get this video up by then, let's discuss some of those crushes, as well as the entire idea of being attracted to an animated character. Okay, so I was originally going to do this in like some sort of chronological order in regards to how old I was at the time of these crushes, but it probably wouldn't be accurate because I'm probably not going to remember it. So I'm just going to do my own thing. Also, gotta give a shout out to Artemis from Young Justice, who I think just misses the cutoff for what I consider a childhood crush just by a bit. But still, I had to give her a shout out because I was like really into her. I mean, just look at those abs, man. Oh my god. I would die if anything bad happened to this girl.
Welcome back. Artemis!
Anyway, let's get this started with
Number 1!
Okay, so if memory serves me correctly, the first character was Daphne from Scooby-Doo. Yes, I know. I'm a fucking normie. Like, what kid didn't lust for this girl? But in my defense, unlike Velma, the people working on these shows tended to sexualize her. I mean, just look at the scene from Scooby-Doo Camp Scare.
You got it, you got it, summertime. Everybody loves summertime.
They did Velma so dirty here, bro. Oh, and how can I forget this infamous scene from Legend of the Vampire? Little kid me did not know what it meant to be in love until I watched this scene over and over and over and over and over and over. As a showman for kids, this was kinda weird. Holy shit. Now that I'm thinking about it, there was that one scene in Mystery Incorporated where she's literally in her undies, and then there's Aloha Scooby-Doo, and that one time in What's New Scooby-Doo, and in the new Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo show. And I'm starting to feel like we should investigate the people who made these shows and movies. Oh, and shout out to Jessica from Camp Scare as well. Like, what the actual fuck were these horny bastards doing putting this in a kid's movie? I mean, I was watching this with my family! I was on the couch all like,
I'm a boner.
Alright, let's keep the Scooby-Doo theme rolling.
Number 2.
Hit it, sisters!
Thorn. Yes, I know. 2 normies in a row. Don't fucking judge me! I mean, who the hell wasn't infatuated with this girl? Hell, even Fred couldn't help himself. Looking back, Thor makes total sense, though. My type is definitely girls with long black hair, so this adds up. Plus, I'm sure it's not the vampire thing. That'd just be weird.
We're gonna put a spell on all of you!
Number 3. Okay, yeah, it was probably the vampire thing. Sabella! If you watched the VHS Scooby-Doo movies as a kid, you know exactly who I'm talking about. Sabella was the daughter of Dracula and Scooby-Doo in the Ghoul School, and she was easily my favorite part of the movie. I was just enamored by her voice actress.
I'm Sabella, Count Dracula's daughter. Fantastic to meet you.
And I suppose I had a thing for purple girls too. Oh yeah, and here's a fun fact for you. Sabella and the rest of the Ghoul Girls randomly returned in an episode of OKKO, and it was legit one of the most mind-boggling things ever. I really hope they can return again in some form or another, because there's so many cool stories that can be told with this ragtag group of daughters of the world's most famous monsters. Also, does anyone else think Elsa is like the gender-bent version of Ed?
Pink belly!
Number 4!
Big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas.
Okay, this one's gonna be pretty damn obscure, and it's gonna be the last Scooby-Doo character on this list. Honestly, I don't think anyone would guess this in a million years, so I won't even bother beating around the bush. It's Sadie! You know, Sadie? Sadie Mae? Sadie Mae Scroggins? Okay, seriously, let me know in the comments if you know who I'm talking about before I show her a picture. In the movie Scooby-Doo Meets the Boo Brothers, Shaggy meets this farm girl named Sadie who's insanely infatuated with him. Now, honestly, the only reason I liked her was because of this whole cowgirl setup thing. I mean, the short shorts, the crop top,
That's a spicy meatball!
because I definitely did not like her for her voice.
I'll give you another big kiss!
Okay, side tangent. If you remember this movie, you'd know that the other dude, Billy Bob, is trying to keep her away from Shaggy. When I was a kid, I was under the impression that this was her boyfriend, but as it turns out, it's actually her brother? So this just proves, unlike hatred, which is taught, the thought that Southerners are into incest is in us by nature.
That sister of mine.
Speaking of the cowgirl thing, number 5! Sarah Bellum from the Powerpuff Girls.
Hello, Mayor.
Good day, Miss Bellum. How is every little...
thing. Pencil go snap.
Here, let me help you with that.
Okay, let me explain something. This is a character whose face we never see, so I was never attracted to her. Except for that one episode where she dressed like this.
Charming.
Who doggy I likes that?
Yeah, I know, it's totally just because of the outfit. There's really not much else to say about this one because my infatuation with her only lasted this episode, so let's just move on. Number 6. So, I frigging love Pokemon. I can name every single one of the 1,025 monsters, yet I failed every math class I've ever been in. Goes to show you where my true priorities lie. Anyways, this list wouldn't be complete without mentioning my favorite Poke Girl. But before I do that, I just want to give an honorable mention to Dawn, who I definitely crushed on as well. But more than her, I was totally head over heels for May. Like, I think I was genuinely in love with her or something. I really couldn't tell you why, but that's just how I remember feeling about her as a kid. Like, I genuinely have 2 distinct memories of my simping for her. One is when she's competing in the Wallace Cup, and she's wearing this outfit here, and then in Lucario and the Mystery of Mew, the gang stopped off at this hot spring, and she looked like this, and my 6-year-old mind knew that moment, that this was the greatest day of my life. And, fun fact, I was right. It's all been downhill since that day. All the way back in 2005.
I don't want to go on living.
Da 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 Number 7! Starfire! Not much to say here, it's Starfire, I mean, come on. Oh, and an honorable mention to my girl Raven as well. Anyone else kind of get that Daphne Velma vibe from her and Raven? Anyway, side tangent here. When I was a kid, I was against shipping Robin and Starfire together because I genuinely believe, and I still do believe, that Robin and Raven were meant for each other. Controversial opinion, I know. I think it was mostly due to how well they knew each other by the end of the series. I mean, presumably, she's the only one who actually knows about his life before Robin when she went to his head and saw his past. Plus, their whole journey together during her arc at the end of Season 4 really cemented this idea for me. Plus, Robin and Raven, come on. Both 5 letters, both 2 syllables. Oh yeah, and also, BIRD! Coincidence? Yes. Interestingly, in the DCAMU, try saying that 5 times fast, Robin and Raven did end up with each other. Albeit this was Damian Wayne and not Dick Grayson, but still, I'm pretty sure I willed this into existence. Number 8!
Who's a little like water and oil? Brandy and Mr. Whisker.
Okay, so you know how everyone had a crush on the little bunny from Space Jam? Yeah, well, not me. Alright, who in their right mind would be crushing on an anthropomorphic bunny girl? That's crazy! You'd have to be one weird-ass mother effer to be into... Yeah, I was totally crushing on Brandy. Anyone else remember this show? Brandy and Mr. Whiskers? It was a Disney Channel cartoon that ran for like 2 seasons, and honestly, I don't remember what it was about. All I do remember is that I was simping for a dog lady, and I will never forgive myself for doing so. I have no idea why my childhood self was into her, but looking into it, it seems that she is quite the fan base on the internet, if you know what I mean. Seriously, y'all need some Jesus. Number 9. Eris from the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, but only before she lost her tooth. Yeah, for whatever reason, after her debut episode, they changed her design so that she'd have this gap between her teeth, and I'm not sure why. Needless to say, it completely ruined any and all romantic interest I had with her because I'm a shallow son of a bitch. If her mouth was a store, it'd be the gap. Also, I couldn't mention Eris without putting this here. Bruh. How did this get past censors? You know how many people this went through before airing on television? Like, holy shit. Also, side note, Eris was voiced by Rachel McFarlane, who also voiced Haley Smith, who has been my crush ever since I was a teenager. Okay, side note over. Number 10. 10? Did somebody say, a Ben 10? Ben 10 was my favorite show growing up, and when Alien Force came around and we got the new design for the older version of Gwen, woo! Let me tell you, I was genuinely in love with her. Like, everything about her was perfect. She had 3 B's. Beauty, badass, brains. And it doesn't hurt that she was voiced by Ashley Johnson, who also voiced Terra in Teen Titans, among dozens of other beloved roles. Oh, and also, fuck Omniverse. Look at how they massacred my girl. Okay, I didn't think I'd be writing this much, which honestly makes this whole list even more pathetic. So I'm gonna try and go a little bit faster from now on. Number 11! Also from Ben 10, we have Gwen's rival, Charmcaster, but in reverse, in that her original design was easily my favorite. Chi. Okay, so while it wasn't as popular as Pokemon, I also watched the various Digimon anime when I was a kid. Hell, I actually based my character design off of Tai himself. Anyways, I remember totally crushing on Zoe from Digimon Frontier. While I remember the original anime, I honestly can't say I remember a single thing about Frontier, other than this one specific scene that has been ingrained in my brain ever since I first saw it. So for context, the group is at the beach and Zoe is trying on some swimsuits when this happens. Yeah, I was I don't know. I was traumatized as a kid when I watched this. I don't know why. It literally freaked me out. I guess it was just the screaming and just the cutaway. I just thought something horrible happened to her. I mean, obviously something horrible did happen, but I just thought like more like horrific and like physically, like oh, like they killed her or something. I was, I did not recover from that. I never have. I probably never will. But seriously, how? I mean, I get Japan. I get it. Japan loves their little girls. All right, I get it. But like, oh my god, she's literally a child taking her clothes off. What? I feel like I've been put on an FBI list just watching this. Huh? What was that? Oh shit! Okay, so the more I looked into this, there was actually 2 versions that aired of this episode. So in the West, we had a censored kind of censored version, where they took out this part and her in this red bikini. Which is like, yeah, I understand that. That was a good call, guys. They also slightly altered the, the undressing scene, where they cut it before she pulled her shirt up as high as she did in the Japanese version, as well as cropping out her lower torso section a bit more. Unfortunately, I couldn't find a good quality of the Western version. I could only find the audio of it, which I used with the Japanese visuals because, you know, subbing's for weebs. Ember from Danny Phantom. Okay, yeah, I'm starting to sense a theme here. Number 14. Diana from Marvin Mystery. Alright, absolutely best girl. Hated it when Marvin was a dick to her because I was a total nice guy who needed to defend my lady. Fun fact here, Marvin Mystery was actually based on a comic where instead of being step-siblings, Diana was his freaking wife. If I had a nickel for every time incest showed up on this list, I'd have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it sure is weird it happened twice. If I like Diana, then I had to have liked Sam from Totally Spies too. I mean, they have pretty much the same exact design, with the main differentiator being their hair colors. And considering these two share the same universe, I don't know if this was a coincidence or if the character designers were just being lazy. Mary from Johnny Test. Despite being twins with Susan and looking, you know, identical, I was only to Mary for some reason. Izzy from Total Drama Island. And the icon. Jen from 16. It's too bad this show wasn't as popular as Total Drama Island. And as it turns out, they didn't air a handful of episodes in America, and I arguably understand why. But they did air the whole Heather topless scene in TDI, so I'm not sure why this was pushing the line. Number 19. Kim Possible.
Number 20.
What do you call them? Oh, feet.
Ariel. And hold up, that was like 5 redheads in a row. What can I say? I guess I have a thing for cartoon redheads because... Number 21! Nigel Thornberry, baby! Woo! Look at that stash! Number 22! Okay, now this is definitely the most obscure character on this list, and that would be Samantha, a side character from All Grown Up. Not sure what I saw in her back then because, frankly, these big fish lips creep me out. Okay, so while putting together this video, I discovered that this wasn't always who she was. Okay, so apparently she was like, this was her original design, and then later on in the series they changed her to this. They made her African American later on. So I'm not really sure why, and I genuinely spent like 30 minutes trying to figure this out. Because there was like a third design for her also, and then she also had a name change from Savannah and Samantha, and honestly, there's a whole rabbit hole here, and I cannot go down any further. It was definitely this original design that I remember having a crush on, and not these other two. Okay, I know what you're thinking.
Wow, you don't like the darker skin version? How racist! Why is every character on this list white?
Well, first of all, not every character in this list is white. Example A,
Dog.
Example B, sexy orange alien lady. Example C, purple. And secondly, number 23, Kimmy. There, see? Not racist. Ha! Yeah! Number 24, Princess Jasmine from Aladdin. But really just this one scene in particular.
I never realized how incredibly handsome you are.
Yeah, I mean, like, these horny Disney bastards, they just... I don't know, if I was a writer in their position, I would never put that out there, because that's just exposing myself as a little horny little bastard. Let's see, who wrote these movies? Okay, yo, horny bastards. Oh, that was a much longer list than I anticipated. I'm both impressed by how much of this I remembered, but also weirded out, because, yeah, that's a lot of cartoon girls. Now, I was gonna go over, like, some sort of, like, I don't know, I was trying to research, like, the philosophy, the science of childhood crushing cartoon stuff. I don't know. I really couldn't find anything that was interesting, and it's mostly because it's really not interesting. It's kind of normal. You just have crushes on cartoon characters. That's like, okay. Because if you think about it, I mean, this is only in the last century that this whole having a crush on a cartoon character thing was possible. As each generation is more and more accustomed to growing up with animated characters in their lives, I really wonder if that's going to have any effect on their development in terms of relationships when they get older. Because obviously we already have, the anime waifu thing going on. Not judging, just saying. There's things that, 100 years ago, you wouldn't have had a guy marry an anime girl. But yeah, that's where we are now, and that's okay. You do you. But yeah, that should do it for this video today. Let me know if you'd want, like, the live action version of this list or something. Oh god. Not again. I don't know why I did this video. Man. My girlfriend is going to kill me. Which is what I'd say if I had one!